Hello, hello. Okay, so now let us start on our today's webinar, which is based out of the Oracle Data Management tickets. So our first ticket of the day is loading the dimension using A underscore as expression mapping. Okay, so now we will understand what exactly we are doing here is because of some mic issues. I was not able to, I will- I was not audible previously. So let us start from now. So in the given case, we have a few extract available to us from the ERP application. So in this extract, we can see that the account members mentioned here are in the form of the numbers itself. However, the requirement of the client is that they want the member name having prefix a underscore and then the member name. Okay, so we are going to make use of the expression mapping here for loading of metadata. So first of all, we have in the account member. Then in the second column, we have the parent member of the member that we are adding into the application. Then we have the alias default. Then we have the data storage property. We have considered here the it as stored for all the members. Then we have the account type here as the asset, as these are the members which we are going to add into the current account. Then we have the time balance property as balance, as we know that this is a balance sheet member. So the time balance property will be balance over here. Okay, so now we will first move forward to our interface. So for that, so now we will first go to the navigator. Under the navigator, I will then go to the data exchange. Under the data exchange, I will then select data integration. Under data integration, I will then click on action, and here I will be selecting the member applications. So under the applications, I have created a metadata file, which is a data source category. Okay, and the type here is file. Okay, as we have the metadata in our flat file. Then here we have the map the dimension here. So the dimension here is going to be the account dimension, as we are going to add member into the account dimension. After clicking on it, we can view the properties here of all the dimension name. So in the given case, we have the account member, which we can see in the metadata file in column number 1. Then we have the account type. Your account type we have selected for mapping purpose. Then we have selected here the alias and alias default. Then here we have provided the name in the data table column for data storage property, and also the parent. And also lastly, we have also provided this property for time balance. Okay, for time balance, we have provided data column name. After naming the data column for which we need to map, we will click on save. and then we will go back to our DI interface. Then from here, I will then again go to the navigator and select the data management. Under the data management, I will then click on setup tab. Under the setup, I will then select import format under integration setup. Here I'm going to add a metadata. So with the help of this plus sign, I will name it as IMF underscore metadata. After naming it, I will be selecting the source file here with the help of the search icon. Our file here was that we have created previously was named as metadata file. Then we have the target application with us. Under the target application, here I'm going to select the account dimension vision account. Okay, because we are going to load a metadata. So here in the target application, we need to select the dimension. Okay. Then file type is going to be the delimited all data type as it is as we are loading metadata into the application. After providing these details, we are going to save it. Then we have the option of the mapping available to us. Okay. Under the mapping, I will be now going to map the source and the target application. So here the name is account, field number is going to be 1. As in our metadata file, we can see that the account column is column number 1. Then we have the account type. So our account type here is column number 2, 3, 4, and 5. It is 5. So here we are going to mention it as field number 5. Okay, there is some problem. Let me close it. Again, we will reopen it. Again, we will go to navigator into the data management. I will expand it and then click on setup, and then I will again go to the import format under integration setup. Here I have created IMF underscore metadata as the import format. Okay, now we need to map it. So here I'm going to select the member as account, which is entry number 1. Here we have the account type. Account type is going to be under field number 1, 2, 3, 4, and this is 5. Okay, so here we have the column number 5. Then we have the alias default. So alias default was in field number 3, column number 3, so here I will mention it as 3 as the field number. We're not going to map data here as we are loading metadata. Okay, so we will keep it as it is. Now here we have the data storage property with us, so it is in column number 4, field number 4. Then we have column number 2 as the parent. Okay, so here I will save it, and then lastly we have the time balance property. So the time balance property is available to us in column number 6. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and lastly 6. Okay, after doing the mapping part or in the import format, now we will move forward to our next step, that is creating a location. So we are going to create a location with the help of this plus sign. Name it as LOC underscore metadata. Okay, now I'm going to select the input format here. So it is going to be IMF underscore metadata. Okay, after creating the location in the given case, now we will move forward to our next step. That is, I will then go to the workflow tab. Under workflow tab, I will click on data road mapping, and then I will provide a location here. So here I'm going to mention the location name LOC underscore metadata, which we have just recently created. Okay, so after providing the location, I will click on OK, and then I will go for a light mapping here. So in the given case of account, as we have already discussed here, that we need to make use of the expression here named a underscore for all these members of account dimension. So what we are going to do is, under the source file we are going to make use of a star, and for the target application we are going to use as a underscore star. So this will provide us a underscore as the prefix for all the members name available in the source file. Okay, now I will provide the rule here. Okay, after giving this naming, and I will move forward to the next dimension, that is account type. So now in all the rest of the other case, I'm going to do the light mapping only. We're not making use of any expression. Here we are not going to map the data as we are loading metadata into the application. Okay, so after making all the doing all the light mapping, I will click on save. Okay, let me delete this first. We will see the data storage property, then we'll move to the parent. Then under parent, I will go to the time balance property. Okay, so we are done with the light mapping in all the dimensions. Let me check it once more. We don't need to map data. Rest all other dimensions are to be mapped. Okay, so we are already done with the mapping part. Now we will move forward to the data load rule with the help of the plus, and I'm going to add a TLR here as metadata. The category was actual and the import format here is IMF underscore metadata. Okay, now after making these changes, I will click on save, and then I will add a file over here. For that, I will upload it and will browse it from the location where I have saved the metadata file here. So after selecting the metadata file, I will then click on OK and save it. Okay, now I will click on the execution rule. So first I will import first from sources. Okay, now let me refresh it. It will take some time to import a file. Okay, so our import is successful. So when we go to the data load workbench, we can view that our metadata is imported and validated. Okay, either we can go back to the data load rule and can export it, or else we can do it from here itself by clicking on export. Okay, so here we are executing it. It will take some time. Okay, now here we got a crayfish. It means there is some error. So for that, we will go to the process detail. Under the process detail, we can see that we have to view the log file over here. So for that, I will click on the log file, and then I will go to the um, okay. Okay, so here I will go to the download and can view the file here. So under the log file, what exactly is the okay, so in the given case, we can see that the outline data is store load process finished. 9 data records were read, 9 data records were processed, and 8 were accepted for loading. Okay, one was rejected. Let me check which one was not accepted here. So for that, I will then move forward to the. It means a metadata is loaded, but with the but with error. Okay, so let me check which line was not loaded here. The dimension has been unlocked. Vision application header is okay. So our header is account parent alias record data storage. Specify date input file is successfully located and okay. So there is a possibility that the application is not reading our member here, though default drivers members were defined to the for the load dimension, no data load cube name was specified in the header record, so a metadata input is assumed. So here is the header record field. Let me do one thing. I will then go to the uh, data management. Here I will go to the data load mapping. Under the parent, I'm going to here use the in mapping with the help of this @ sign. I will name it as parent, and then here I will name it in the target value. I will ignore it. After this, I will provide the rule and then save it. Okay, now again I will go to the data load rule. I will then again try to execute our rule here. I will then export and import it. It will take some time to process it. Okay, now our metadata has been successfully loaded and we are getting all the three fishes here. So to view this, as we can see here under the source column, we can see the account member was named as only the number format. However, in the case of the target application, it has now been mentioned here as a underscore triple one zero, and it means that the prefix a underscore has been used. So to view the R metadata file, we will then go to the application, click on the home page, then I will click on the navigator and to the dimension under create and manage. Okay, now I will here name it as a underscore as the name of the file, name of the members here. So we can see that we have the member here as a underscore triple one zero, that is the cache, a underscore double one two zero. Let me okay, so cache at the HDFC. So our metadata is being successfully loaded here. So this is how we make use of the expression for loading our metadata. Okay, that was all for today. For any more queries, please feel free to ask us on www.bispsolutions.com.